So guys, we're in here. This is our onion harvest for 2024. These up here are the Texas Legend that we planted. And we've been curing these probably for about, I don't know, about three weeks now. Like I said, Texas Legend, some of them are good sized. Okay, some of them pretty good sized. And some of them are small. But y'all, it's taste that counts, and as many as I can get. And this recipe I'm going to fix to make for you guys, y'all, these are going to be perfect for it. Because I've already cheated, I already made them. But I'm going to make them for you guys today because it is made out of simple pantry ingredients, y'all. So simple. Onions. Onions are relatively cheap. If you got flour, sugar, cornmeal, salt, pepper, y'all, you can do this. And this right here, down here, is the canned candy. I'm not sure. Candy something. I'll put it up here. We harvested those yesterday. You can see the difference between the ones we harvested up here. These, they have fallen back. They're ready. They just got to cure until everything falls off, and they'll be perfect like this. Actually, I need to get a lot of these into the house. So these are down here curing on this rack. Y'all, this is not really a lot. We have this rack down here. This is probably a 4 by 5 rack. Same thing up here, but it's good for what we got. So anyway, like I said, I'm going to make an awesome recipe for you guys today. It comes from the Hillbilly Kitchen. I will put the link up above to her channel. So let's get in and get to making some, y'all, some awesome, very frugal onion fritters, and I think you're really going to like them. So guys, these are the onions we're going to be using. As you see, we just pulled them. That was the second batch. This is the first batch. It's been curing probably for about 3 weeks now. These are the, I think they're the Texas Legend ones, but I've made these before and they're very sweet. So let's go ahead and get these all peeled up. I'm going to need about 2.5 cups. So guys, all we're doing now is taking up these onions I get. Remember, I need about 2.5 cups of really finely processed onions. I'm going to take them, put them in my food processor. Yes, I know this is like the tiniest thing on earth. I actually had a big one, but I put something in it I shouldn't have, and I burned the motor. So we've been using this little $5 goodie for a while. It's fine for the point of what I'm using. Just get your onions and cut them up as small as you can. And start processing. So I need to show you what they need to look like when they're processed. Well, when they're chopped up through this. You want this really as super fine as you can possibly get it. I mean, you really want them small, but you don't want chunks in this. You definitely don't want chunks in this. So I'm going to go ahead and pour these in here, and it is going to have some juice. That's perfectly fine. It's just going to add a little flavor to it. Y'all, I'm telling you, this is like one of the cheapest things you can make. It's really cheap for me because we grew our own onions. But even if you bought them at the store, it really is good. So here we are. We're probably about at 3/4 a cup now. I think I got enough and probably some extra. Let's go ahead and get it loaded. So guys, here's our 2.5 cups. I've got a few left. I'll just take them and chop them up and stick them in the freezer for later. Let's go ahead and mix some fritters up. Guys, before we start mixing everything together, make sure you've got a pan that's pretty deep and it's got a good, probably about 1/2 inch of oil in it, because this is what we're going to be frying them in, and you're also going to need some kind of paper towel and plate to actually drain them in. So here's what we got right now. I'm going to go ahead and show you the ingredients. Of course, this is 2.5 cups of onions. These are extremely fresh onions. You see that juice in there? I may end up having to add a little bit more flour it just depends on your onions, because these are very juicy. They're like that when they're fresh. We have that over here. I have 3/4 cup. Actually, I've got a little bit. I've got about a cup of self-rising flour, because I know all this extra juice is going to make it kind of watery, so I added just a little bit more. Over here, you got 3/4 cup of milk. And over here, after we sift this flour, we're going to be adding a 1/2 teaspoon of pepper, 2 tablespoons of sugar, 2 tablespoons of cornmeal, and I believe it's a teaspoon of salt. The recipe will be down below, but these are all basic pantry ingredients that you probably have. I do sift my flour. That's just because I don't want any lumps in them. So let's go ahead and get this mixing. Alright guys, I've been letting this sit for about 5 minutes. Once you start seeing bubbles in it, and I'm not sure if you can tell, but there's little bubbles in there, I kind of like, it kind of thickens up. I don't know how to explain it, but about 10-15 minutes, and then you can go ahead and we'll go ahead and put them over here and get them in the fryer. So guys, I went ahead and did some test ones, and they came out really good, but I noticed they were thinner than I wanted them. They're perfectly fine that way, but my actual dough or my mixture was actually way too thin because of all that onion juice went in. So I'm taking this, I'm going to put it in the pan. Okay, only pour a little bit at a time. I don't know if you can tell. I'll try to bring you careful over here. This is kind of hard when you're cooking with the hot oven, but I don't know if you can tell or not, but it is starting to boil, not boil, fry. And we're just going to add a few more at a time. It seems like the last time I made this, it made about, I don't know, between 10 and 15. It just kind of depends on how big I make them. But basically, they're going to fry until you can turn them. I highly suggest that you do a trial batch first, because they can stick. They can really stick. So, but actually, this is what it looks like. It is so, oh my word, y'all, they're so addicting. They're not perfectly uniform, but it's like my family says, I don't care. They taste good. So, let me go ahead and you can, oh yeah, these are rising a lot better. Those didn't rise as well, just simply because all that onion juice in it, because those onions were so fresh. The ratio of flour to it just didn't get it. Now, I'm going to hope. Yeah, I really hope. Now, you're probably saying, why am I not putting one over here? Because, guys, I'm using a small burner. I'm not using a large burner. And I know that that side doesn't cook as well. And I've got to play with this. Remember, if you're using a cast iron, it gets hotter. It gets a whole lot hotter and stays hotter faster than what you're used to. A regular pan. Oh, yeah, that's good. If I can do this and it's not sticking, that's a good one. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. See, this one. Now I'll go ahead and push that over there. I'm not sure it's going to work. Put that one over there. And go ahead and add another one. So I'm probably going to do about 4 of these a piece. I'm going to wait just a moment. So you guys can see when they start getting brown and you start seeing it bubbling in the middle, that's how you know they're cooking really well. That's how you want to know when they're cooking. It usually takes, I don't know, a few minutes on each side. It kind of depends. But I'm going to lift this up to see. Oh yeah, I'm going to go ahead and flip this one very gently, y'all, because that's hot oil. Yeah, that's what it looks like. They look like pancakes, but they're not pancakes, y'all. Oh, these are absolutely delicious. Here we go. That one looks good. This one looks good. Yeah, I'm actually glad that I did the trial batch first, because had I not done that trial batch first, these babies would have been sticking. So I really didn't have to add that extra flour to it. They could have been like those thin ones, but I'll show you the difference. But that was a lot of onion juice, so that ratio to flour to onion juice minus the milk, it just wasn't working the same. So here we go. Yeah, go ahead and flip this one. I'm not sure if this one's quite done yet. That one probably could have stayed a little bit longer. See how the onion's breaking up in it? Yeah, so anyway, I'm going to go ahead and leave this right here and keep on cooking it and see how many we can get. We've got 3 there, 4, so we've got 7 already, and we've got a whole lot more dough. So let me go ahead and finish this cooking. So guys, here's the finished product. They are absolutely, oh my gosh, if you could taste them. Let me show you what one looks like. Here's one of the thin ones before I added more, what do you call it, flour to it. And here's one of the thicker ones. But they taste the same. They taste the same. So this one's a little bit more crunchy, but if you break it open, this is still kind of hot. You see inside there? Y'all, these are absolutely good. They taste like onions on steroids. They're delicious by themselves. They are a little bit greasy, but it's worth it. It's worth it. It's good. So, try this recipe and check out Hillbilly Kitchen. I'll link it below her YouTube channel, because this, like I said, this is where I got the recipe from. But y'all, this is absolutely cheap. If you've got your own onions, it's basic pantry ingredients: flour, flour, milk, salt, pepper, sugar, basic stuff, y'all. So anyway, this is a very cheap meal, very good appetizer. So you guys have an amazing day. Thank you so much for stopping by. I need to stop this. Y'all have a good one. God bless.